So as introduced, my name is Jadesola Adedeji, and I'm the co-founder of STEM Mets, an education company providing impactful learning experiences for children. And we do that through STEM-based programs and workshops that we have available for children ages 3 to 16. So of course for us, as I said, alternative learning pathways. We feel that, especially in this age of technology, even before technology, there are alternative ways for children to learn instead of the usual cramming and regurgitating, as I call it, and that valuable skills are available for them to learn with practicalizing the knowledge, hands-on experiential learning. We feel that, and research has it that there's more retention, there's more recall as well when children, work with their hands and their minds and are not just cramming. So today we're going to be exploring AI. I'm sure, as we know, everybody, since ChatGPT came onto the market, AI is the good, the bad, the ugly, and the horrors and myths and miscommunication. So in this workshop, we're actually going to touch on, what it is, but from an educational perspective. I hear the internet around here is not very good because I wanted it practical. So as I'm a promoter of practical application of knowledge, I really would love for everyone to, participate actively. So our hope is that the internet will behave, and there are a couple of apps that we wanted you to download so we can really have the class together. Next slide, please. Okay, so if possible, this photo math is actually an app. So if you're able to scan this QR code, please do so. We'll just give a few minutes. We're going to do some practice at the end. So please do so. Scan it and download the app. It's a free app. And we're going to use it later. So as I said, it's going to be an interactive class and we're practicalizing it. So it's called Photo Math. So please go ahead. Just give a few more seconds. So just go into your camera mode and then just please scan. Just enlarge if you need to. Are you good? Okay. Good? Okay. Next slide, please. So this is the second program we're also going to look into. So again, please scan. So scan, and then we will get on to the meat of the presentation. This one is called Brainly. This is a different one, yes. So we're going to be looking at Brainly, and we're going to be looking at Photo Math. Okay, next slide. Okay, so what is AI? As you know, AI stands for artificial intelligence, and I thought let's keep it simple, let's keep it straightforward. It's basically helping computer think and learn like humans. So they don't have a mind of their own, they're actually created by human beings. So I should put that out first, that it's really human beings teaching computers how to think and how to learn. And I know that recently, since ChatGPT came out, it's like, AI is going to take over the world. But we've been working with AI easily for the last decade. Your Siri, your Alexa, your Google Maps, your Uber rides. How many of you, when you go, online and you're checking out some things for shopping, and then all of a sudden you see on the side, the same thing you're looking at, different recommendations. I remember the first time it happened to me, I was like, where did that come from? I was looking at some dress somewhere, and next thing I knew, on the side of it, I had left that site. I went to Facebook to nose around, and all of a sudden, to the right of me, I saw different recommendations. So that freaks me out at first. And as we know, even when you go on Instagram, all those recommendations that come up, all those algorithms and things at the back, those are all AI. AI has been around more than we think. I'm going to Yaba, check the Google map. It's all AI. But the thing that turned things around was actually ChatGPT, which is a different kind of AI called generative AI. It was the first time you could put certain prompts in and it was creating new things for you. So that really is what has propelled AI into the news in the last, let's say, 3 years. But it's always been there. It's been there. How many of you, when you're writing emails or you're using Microsoft Word and you get your spelling, predictive AI, that's all AI. It corrects you grammarly, all of that. That's all AI. So there honestly isn't really anything new. So if you look at things, even YouTube, some of those suggestions, so any of these social media platforms that throw up suggestions based on your likes or based on your different past experiences, that's all AI, to be honest with you. So, this demonizing AI, there are a lot of good uses for AI. And for example, I had, given some examples there. But when it comes to education, there are a lot of learning tools that offer interactive, personalized learning. And what does that mean? So I don't know how many people know of Khan Academy here. Khan Academy. Yeah, so Khan Academy or code.org is a free learning platform for children. So it has maths, it has all sorts of subjects on there. It has practice questions and practice videos. So if it's that, I'm not good at fractions, I can go on there and, it has teaching guides. So some of these platforms, teaching and learning platforms, now have AI in that if your child is doing 1 + 1 and he gets it right, the more questions the child gets right, the more the AI will throw up, different levels of difficulties for the child. So that's what that means by personalized learning. So it's personalizing it to the child. If it goes up and it's getting difficult and sees that this child is struggling, the AI might modify it so that they're learning to their strengths and areas of difficulty. So that's one good use of AI. Secondly, creativity. There's some of these AI platforms and apps now, even ChatGPT, the paid version. You can tell it that, I want a picture of a child that's, in a garden somewhere in Africa, and there are lions and giraffes there. And it can generate pictures for you as well. So there's a lot of creativity that comes with that. So in drawing and even coding and storytelling. Problem solving, there are a lot of AI-powered puzzles and maths and even language app. I'm sure a number of people here know Duolingo that can help you learn different languages and things like that. So a lot of those are also AI infused. And then lastly, safety as well. It can help keep the kids safe online, and so there are various applications that are available. Next slide, please. So here we just touched on, a few cool apps for kids that are specific for education and specific for children as well to play around with. Scratch, we all know Scratch. There's a lot of AI infusion, like I said, Khan Academy too, that they've really infused it in terms of helping the child learn. So I think it's critical to point that out. There's some math apps that you can also download. So we just thought we'll throw, Prodigy is one of them, we'll throw a few examples there. And like I said at the beginning, what I'm hoping is that we'll be able to use, some of the apps that we downloaded there so that it's more interactive, so that you parents as well, as the last speaker said, are interacting and familiarizing yourself with these things, because these children are digital natives and they're way ahead of us in terms of, digital knowledge. Next, please. So what are the benefits for child development? Because I know, like I said, there are sorts of horror stories around that. Learning experiences, one of the things I mentioned when I started was that creating impactful learning experiences for kids. And I think that is so important. Things have changed. The way we learned then is different to now. And really, whether we like it or not, technology is playing an important part in the learning experiences for children. So with AI, it adapts because it's adaptable and it can help them with learning and just more creative ways for children to learn. It also allows for creativity and exploration. There are a lot of tools that you can use in music, in arts, in design. So some of these things that I've said are really helping with the creative juices and really just encouraging children to be more exploratory. Even the little ones, so early years as well, all these technology-infused programs, and there's a ton of edtech tools that are available. I think it can even be overwhelming. So all of these contributes to the child's development, cognitive development, as well as, social development in some cases. So of course, we've sung the praises of this. Like anything that's technology-driven, there are also risks applied to it. And really, this is general for anything that's tech-driven or digital-driven. So privacy, a lot of the concerns, which is valid, is in terms of data that's being collected and even the kind of information, as the previous speaker said, that your children are giving out. So there's a lot of importance on digital literacy and digital safety and conversations that we need to have with our children ourselves. Dependence and digital addiction, as I call it, is a thing. And I'm sure us adults here, number of times, I don't know whether you guys have that thing on your phone that will tell you the number of times you pick up your phone an hour or how many hours a day you've spent on. I restrict myself. You can see my time limit is on. But of course, you can ignore it, but control is required. So even if we adults are struggling, imagine, with the children. And the previous speaker also talked about over-reliance and also, time spent on devices. So of course, content and exposure, AI or ChatGPT type generative AI, you think that, it's going to solve my problems and give me all the information. Sometimes it actually hallucinates, and sometimes the information on there is not correct. So if you think that, I'm being smart and I'm using ChatGPT for my homework, well, guess what? Some of the information it's giving you might be wrong. So that's where, literacy skills and research skills come into place. You have to interrogate the information that is giving you. So if you think you're smart and you're cheating on your exam, it's easy that some of the information that you have on there is actually incorrect. So you still have to think and not take the information as gospel. So what are some safeguarding tips and the role of parents? I see a number of parents here or caregivers. Of course, as has been said, set boundaries and limits. If it's on iPad, if it's on, the family computer, if it's on the phone, I don't think kids should have smartphone before they're 16, but that's my own personal opinion. And apart from that, there are a lot of research to back that. For parents in here, if you haven't read the book called The Anxious Generation, please get it. Please read it. It's almost a Bible of parenting in this tech-driven age. I recommend it highly. In fact, it's so delicious for me to learn, to read, if there's such a word, that each page, I actually have a marker. My kids are 20 and 21, soon to be 21. So I know I've missed the mark on some things, but because I am in education, there are a lot of things that I'm also learning to pass on to the parents of the kids that come. Review the app's permissions and privacy. As they said in the last thing, we all don't read the terms and conditions. So please, let's take some time to do that. Let's discuss using technology responsibly with our children. And like I said, ethics and integrity, and use it for the right things. Let's participate and be involved. And let's encourage safe use, as has been said, that the information that you are giving out in your excitement of playing on Roblox, you now give them your location or your name or your phone number. Off-screen time, I think it's critical, and that's one of the things that the book talks about, that we've moved away from play-based childhood, to smartphone-based childhood. And we see that, like I said, my kids are older, but sometimes we go into restaurants, and as soon as we get there, the nanny's bringing out the laptop for the 2-year-old, the phone. It's almost a babysitter, And so children are not playing. A lot of those social skills are actually being lost. Hence, this anxious generation, because a lot of them don't know how to interact socially, because they're so used to being on the phone. So please let our children play, let them run, let them fall, let them build some sort of resilience and start to develop social skills. Screen time limits, and like I said, staying involved and not using it as a babysitter. No offense to anyone here. Next slide, please. Okay, so let's practice. I'm hoping that we've been able to download the photo math, or at least one or two of us. So if we have a table where somebody has and the other person hasn't, maybe we can share and pair together to have the interaction. So Ms. Fizz, yes. So if you need the QR code again, we can bring that up, but let's see what we can do with the photo map. Can we have the next slide? So I think what we were trying to do was have some examples for us to practice with. So I'll hand over to my colleague, Ms. Fizz.
Good afternoon, everyone. Photomat is an extremely useful tool, especially it encourages independent learning. It's a tool where it shows you any math question. All you need to do is scan the question, word problems or just basic maths, scan the problem, and then it will show you the steps that you will solve the question. Now, I know some people will say, "Ooh, but that's cheating then." And it's doing your homework for you. But the thing about it is that if you, as a parent, the way they teach our children are taught these days is really different from the way we are taught. So it's a tool that you can use to also learn the problems themselves, shows you how to solve the question, and then you can now see how your child is solving the problem and see if there's anything that, any gaps in the child's knowledge, anything that you feel, oh, you know what, this is how you probably could have solved this question. It usually gives you more than one options of solving the question. So in terms of safeguarding cheating, the truth about it is that if the child does it and submits the assignment, the child has not benefited himself. That's the truth. However, that tool can help the child independently revise. He can, if you help, modeling and supporting, saying, okay, you know what, this is how it shows you can solve the question. Look at the steps. You can tell the child, solve another question that is similar. See if you can follow that guide as well. So it just helps to take away the stress of, okay, getting a tutor, timing, and things like that. Not all children need that. Some children need that personal interaction. Some children, all they need is something to show them the steps, and they can then move on for themselves. So it's a tool that I would recommend highly for the parents. If your kids are young, obviously, I would say for the parents. But by the time your kids are in secondary school, they do tend to need more independent learning. So they themselves probably even know this tool, and you probably are just hearing about it. This tool has been around for a couple of years. So it's a really brilliant tool. So all you need to do is scan, launch the app. So we'll do that now. You launch the app, scan the question, put the question, so it comes up with like a band, like two brackets. So you just make sure that the question fills the bracket, so it's in that bracket. Then you take a bit of time to scan it. You will see it like rendering at the top there. And then you go below it, and then it will show you, you click on show me how to answer the question. And it also gives you the options to speak to you as well. So there's the voice prompt there as well. So have we been able to do it? So you scan this question. This is the first question. And then it will take you step by step on how to do it. Oh, it's too far. Yeah. You might need to make it a little bigger, or you can walk closer to the screen if that helps as well. Click on it. And then it should play down and follow the instructions on how to solve the question. Have you checked it yet? Its network is slow. But Yes, there we go. Show me, then you click on it, show me how. And then it will be telling you step by step, and then you keep going. And then you can also speak to you as well. Talk to you as well. Okay, so once you scanned it, we know we have internet challenges, but the way it works is, once you scan the question, and you click on the launch button, it will scan it, and then it will show you at the bottom, you'll see, show me how to work it out. And then it will be taking you step by step. It can also speak to you as well to tell you what you need to do. And it usually will give you like 2 separate solutions as well, which is brilliant. So you find, what it does is you find a solution that works best for you. Some people require a more detailed step. Some people require a shorter format to do that. So that's one app. The next one is Brainly, and I love Brainly because Brainly is sort of like ChatGPT. The difference between it is that it's tailored more to respond directly to specific questions, and it also gives you the opportunity to listen or search on what other people how other people have responded to that question. So what that does for you is it deepens your knowledge of that information. So for example, if you click on Brainly now, and you type a question such as, why is Mount Everest a very challenging mountain to reach its summit? What are the challenges that you meet along the way? Or for example, in the building of the Burj Khalifa, what were the challenges that were encountered when building it? So in terms of like your research questions, it helps you, gives you a more detailed, concise information. And then you have the opportunity to hear what other people have said. And the good thing about this platform as well, it also can be your private tutor as well. You can also get people that have experience in specific subject or topics to tutor you as well. That's when you do the paid version.
Okay, we've been told we only have 2 minutes left, but I hope that the 2 examples just, showed the variety of apps that are available for us as parents, as co-educators of our children. I know some of us think, I've left school a while ago, I don't understand this math you're asking me. So like we said, a lot of these apps are really geared towards you, the parents, in coming alongside your children, in their educational journey. Thank you very much. Okay, and in addition, Ms. Faze actually has an AI workshop that's available for parents, right? And the kids. Okay, so if you want to please talk to her afterwards, please do. That's happening on Monday and Tuesday, online, over the holidays.